So welcome to Mini Creators. This is our 5th week. We're gonna do clay, we're gonna paint, we're gonna talk a lot about birds today. So get all your stuff together, and the thing we're gonna start with first is this cute little picture of birds. Look how darling all these little birds are. So each of you should have one of these in your kits. So grab that. And you'll also need this frame that has the 4 squares. So put those 4 things, or those 2 papers with the 4 squares, somewhere close. So here's the deal. Oh gosh, Miss Jill. Okay, here's the deal. We have, oh, here comes our Fletch. There's our Fletcher. And Ellie's here too. Okay, Miss Ruby has her birds ready. Love it. Okay, so we've got our frames and then our little birds. And I just want to say we have a lot of abilities in this class. So some are younger, some are older. So I want to offer a lot of ways to do this so that everybody feels successful. And this should be just really kid driven. So whatever is speaking to the child, let's do it that way. If you are a little bit older, it's kind of like riding a bike, okay? You go out, you learn to ride a bike, you're like, this is so much fun, but the first time you ride, you're probably not gonna charge down the mountain really fast over jumps and boulders. So you're just gonna ride the bike how you're learning how to ride the bike. And that's where we are with art. Art is kind of like an exercise. The more we practice, the more we're going to get used to it, and we're going to get better and better. So wherever you come today with whatever skills you have is perfect for you, and we just keep building on them. If you are a little bit older, you might want to look at one of these birds, just pick one. I'll probably just pick this guy, and try to draw that bird in one of these squares. So we're exercising our hand-eye coordination and opening that artist's heart. But this is observation drawing, where you're looking at something and trying to draw over here. If you're a little bit younger, or if you want to approach it this way, the other thing that would be fantastic is to just draw right on this bird, or whichever bird you want, and practice matching colors and practice filling in the shapes that they have. So I see this beautiful wing in yellow. So I'm gonna match my yellow, and I'm gonna start coloring on the yellow. And I'm gonna fill in, I'm just gonna look and observe at those beautiful yellow feathers that are in that little bird. And then I see a really bright orange. So I might grab my orange and try to match these colors with this guy. If you would rather paint on top of that bird, great. Another thing you could do is take your pencil or a marker and trace the shapes of the bird. In fact, that would be good for all of you to do before drawing here. So if you take your pencil and you start looking at the way things are shaped on this guy, comes down here, the direction, and around to a beak, and down to his chest. So I'm just taking my pencil and tracing the shapes. That wing comes in here, and the eye, and I'm being really careful to try, ooh, those cute little feet. So I'm gonna take some time to get acquainted with the shapes, whichever one you pick. I'm picking this bigger guy. And after I've kind of practiced that a little bit, if you want to move over and try to draw it yourself, do it, try it. And whatever you do is gonna be perfect for you, because it's where you are right now. So be gentle with yourself. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. We're just trying to kind of look at shapes. Or if you pick up your paint and you wanna add to that and paint that, that's a great answer too. I'm gonna look at this guy, and I see that his head kind of comes down here, and his little beak comes out. So this is just practicing looking. As artists, it's so healthy to just look at things and get inspiration from things. And that's how the artists make this world so beautiful, is they can take simple objects and look at them and make them amazing. So if you want to try drawing, maybe you want the branch to look a little different. And I could even start coloring him in again. Or if you want to just stay on this and color this guy, great. Or try your own kind of bird. Maybe it doesn't look quite like this. Maybe you just kind of try to get the shape of a body and stick a wing on there. So lots of ways to do this project today. Just approach it as to wherever you are comfortable or whatever's kind of speaking to you. There's no right or wrong. And the reason I'm so excited about birds, by the way, I see orange, I see blue coming up here. I want to show you something. Next week, you're all going to get your very own birdhouse. Aren't those so cute? They're little wooden birdhouses, and you get to paint them. So I wanted to start this week talking about birds. I'm also going to send home a little kit of acrylic paint. We haven't used acrylics yet, so you'll have your own little kit of paints and your own little birdhouse. So today we're going to make a bird out of clay, and that little guy can like sit next to him, the little clay bird. And so we're practicing birds by observing these. So it's kind of a bird day today, and it will be a little bit next week as we start creating those cute birdhouses. Okay. How's it going, friends? Hi, Ellie. It's good to see your face. Thanks for being here. Is Fletcher here too? No. Oh. You're going to have to make his binoculars for him or show him how. Hi, Josie. Hello, beautiful. Can you show me how you're coloring that bird? You want to show me?
Do you want to show her?
Colored pencils. Ooh, are you coloring on that? Isn't he cute, Josie? Do you think? What are you doing? What'd you say? You are
silly and shy, huh?
You are beautiful. Do you think those birds are cute? I think they're so cute.
I draw one.
Let me see. Do you want to show me?
It kind of looks like that one right
Okay, you're looking. Oh my goodness, you're seeing orange and you're using orange and there's a tail in there and wings. Yes, Josie is perfect. Wow. Oh, bless her heart.
I like a big one. She's a big one.
I'm loving your bird. Good job. You're looking and looking at colors.
If you want to do so much colors, you can.
Okay. Keep going, sweetie. You are doing so great. She's got the giggles. So cute. How's my buddy David? How are the birds coming for you? How are you choosing to color the birds? Do you want to share? I'm not able to unmute you. I do not know why. So if your finger can hit that button, sorry. Thank you. Sometimes settings are weird where we don't have the control. Hi, David. Show me how you're working on that, pal. David, do you want to show me how you're working on it?
Want to show her?
Just want to smile?
Yellow.
So big. Good job, bud. Looking at the yellow and putting the yellow over there. It's fantastic. It really takes a concentration to look at those shapes, doesn't it? And matching. Good job, bud. Getting just kind of into that. We're practicing our hand-eye coordination. It's so healthy. So healthy. Hi, friends. How are we doing? Yay. I unmuted you. So if you want to talk about what you're doing or show me how you are. Oh, Rio, unbelievable.
So are yours.
Geez, that's amazing. Now this family is so sweet. There's all different ages, right? So everybody's going to come at it with their own age and ability. So whatever you do is perfect and right where you are. Hey, Tristan and Tegan, how's it going? Hi, Tristan. How's that face? Do you want to show me how you're coloring, Tristan?
That's so good. Show her.
Oh, are you putting your pencils on it? Yes, good job. Oh my goodness, Tegan, are you kidding me? What? Wow, you are really looking, aren't you? Oh, it's amazing. What concentration you kids have to really slow yourself down and look at something simple and kind of start connecting with that is just amazing. Oh, you sweet faces. I just love my time with this crowd. Oh, so lucky for me. So you can take another minute on thinking about colors and moving, trying a realistic. You can pull out your paints. I would love to do a directed draw with you. And a directed draw means I show you a line and you try to do a line like I do. So there's lots of ways to create. We can look at something and try to make it the same, and that's a healthy thing when we're learning to look with our eyes and then our hands follow. There's also just coming straight from your artist's heart. Whatever's in here goes on the paper. That is perfect too. There's a lot of different ways to create. We can look at a real object and try to make it look like, you know, maybe your brother or sister is sitting there and you try to draw them like that. Or maybe it's just a flat picture of something. Or you can follow me with trying to add some pieces. So these directed draws are kind of fun. And Miss Ellie, you are a middle schooler, and I know your skills are much, you are an amazing artist because you've been on this planet for a little bit longer than some of these friends. And your hair is darling, darling, darling.
Oh yeah, I haven't even brushed it out this morning. I just barely woke up.
Colors. I just want to show you what I've done with my olders. Okay, is we did a grid painting. So watch what I did. Try this, Illy. I gridded my.
I can't see anything.
Can you not? Do I have to back it
I
up?
can just see myself.
Oh, sorry. Okay, some
it's good.
different devices show different things. So I'm gonna cancel you so you can see me. Can you see me now? So I did a grid, which means I divided into 4, and I also did it on my square. You've probably done it before. And then
Whoa, that's cool.
And then I'm trying then to break down, let's see here. So I'm trying to look at the shape in each quadrant, and it just simplifies the shapes. And then, can you see how I'm really looking at this little tiny thing here and here, the shape here and here? So you're gonna get a more accurate drawing if you grid it out a little bit. So give that a try. This is for Ellie, my middle schooler, so I'm trying to do this for everybody. And then I tried, I put it on that little watercolor paper and I drew it again, and I erased my marks, erased my grid, so the pencil kind of went away, and then I let the watercolor come in. So that's your job today, okay, Miss Ellie?
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, perfect. And while we move into our binoculars, stay with us. You're gonna do something fantastic, I know. Unless, or you could watch binoculars and make them for that cute friend of yours.
I can do it for Fletcher. That sounds good.
Yes. Scarlett, oh my goodness, I am seeing some amazing things. Oh my goodness, thank you for sharing. That's amazing. You kids are so grown up. So these little guys are watercolor papers. They feel different they feel different than the paper that you're working on, just that regular copy paper. They're thick and they hold water. We've used these before. It's on the front of your sketchbook. So we're going to try a directed draw from one of these, but I want to know first if you're ready to move forward or if you're still hanging here. It's a little tricky when I'm not with you to walk around and look. So I just want to make sure my pacing's right. So give me a thumbs up if you are ready to move on to our little directed draw. Ooh, nice, Miss Josie. And give me a thumbs down if you're like, Miss Jill, give us another minute. I'm loving this bird I'm drawing. So everybody give me a thumbs up, let's move on, or a thumbs down, I need a minute. Okay, Rio needs a minute, and Tegan and David, perfect. Oh, I love it, Josie. Yes. Yeah, nice, Miss Ellie. Oh, look, she pulls in all sorts of abstract as well as realistic. So fantastic. What is Josie working on? What's going on? Let's see what you got going. Ooh, are you drawing birds in there too? Yes. You're doing so great. Do you want to paint it? If you want, you can pull out the watercolors and do some painting on it. Sure. Her little face just lights up. Yes, you got a good face right there, little Missy.
Where's your paint?
Oh my gosh.
Here, there is.
So fun. My kids are all big, okay? And they are the best. They're really fun, big kids, but man, there is nothing like you little people. I could hang with you all day. So lucky me. I'm going to go ahead and start with this directed draw. So I'm going to pull one of these out, and you can follow me if you would like. Or if you're really into this other drawing, then stay with that. Or you can always come back to it. I gave you 4 squares and 4 different birds. So feel free to try all of them. You don't have to do that today. There probably won't be time, but later in the week, come back to this and see if you can keep observing the different ones. And then if you'll keep this page, maybe even slide it in your sketchbook or something, but keep that page handy because we might come back to that a little bit next week too. That's kind of a nice colored copy that could be used over and over again. So, okay. I'm gonna start onto this guy. And there's lots and lots of ways to make birds. I love using big art words because you little people are so smart and you pick up on this stuff. So I want to talk about realistic and abstract. We've done that in the past. So these are definitely realistic because they look like something real. The word realistic, the word real is in realistic. So these look like they could be real. And then we did our Picasso and that didn't look like that could be real. I've never run into somebody looking like that. So that's called abstract. So say that word, and I just in your own home say abstract. Okay, and then there's the realistic or abstract. So I want to show you some birds that are kind of both. So that one is looking a little more realistic. Somebody's looking at a bird and trying to get those proportions just right. And that's kind of what you're working on now. And those guys are a little more abstract. But look at the fantastic tangles in there and the lines and the texture. So it doesn't look like a real bird that you would walk outside and see, but maybe inspired from a bird, but these are abstract. Oh, a little more realistic. Okay, and now I'm going to ask one of you to raise your hands. This is, if that's a little more realistic, what's this guy? Can somebody tell me, is it abstract or realistic? Is that a guy that you would jump out in the street and actually see crossing his legs and polka dots all over? If it's not somebody you would really run into, then what would this crowd say? Is that realistic, or abstract?
Abstract.
Heck yeah, he's kind of funky and funny, isn't he? Yeah, you smarty pants. You guys are amazing. So this guy's a little more abstract. Lines and polka dots. That's not a real, you wouldn't see that in the real world. Oh, whoa. How about this? Somebody raised their hand. Would that be realistic? Like it looks like a real bird you would run into? Or abstract? Hey, Mr. David, I bet you know the answer, smarty pants. Does it look like a real bird that you might run into out in a tree?
Real bird.
A real bird. Yep, you got it. That's called realistic. Fantastic. Smarty pants. See, it's so fun to use big words with you because you guys are just so smart. So I'm going to try a bird right now that is a little more abstract. All right, let's try this together. You've tried a realistic. Let's try one that's abstract. Go ahead and grab a Sharpie and this little watercolor. Try this exercise with me. It's a directed draw, and sometimes it's fun to learn from a directed draw because then it stays in your brain and you'll go back and do more birds. So grab a Sharpie and grab that little watercolor paper, and then give me a thumbs up if you have those two things ready. Okay, let's see. Okay, David's ready. He's got his watercolor square. That feels different than your other paper. He's got a Sharpie. And Scarlett and Kylie, are you two ready? And it looks like Josie's ready. I can see Tegan's ready. Yep. You might want to make sure that, since we're doing Sharpie, I don't think it will go through, but just put a paper underneath it or your sketchbook or something. All right, Kylie and Scarlett, look ready. Okay, here we go. Take your Sharpie. I'm gonna look at the middle of my paper, drawing a line here, and I'm not gonna draw it there, but I'm thinking about where's the middle of my paper. Don't draw in the middle of your paper. Move up from that. We're just gonna do a straight line. Are you ready? I'm not gonna start at the edge. I'm gonna go in a little bit, and I'm not in the middle. I'm about halfway up there, and I'm gonna draw a straight line, kind of leaving spaces on either side. So go ahead, try a straight line. Whatever your line looks like is going to be perfect. Please remember that. Don't be hard on yourself. Just try a straight line. And then the next line I'm going to do is going to be a U shape. So if you know your letters and you can think of the letter U, we're going to make a great big belly and the body of the bird in the form of a U. Are we ready? So I'm just going to start here, and I'm going to connect this end to this end with a great big U. Try it. It's almost like a little smiley face. So a line across, a U down. Give it a try. And again, whatever marks you make are perfect. So you're just trying, you're just thinking, oh, a curve or a straight or whatever. However you do it is exactly right. And then I feel like this guy needs a beak, and I'm gonna put it over on this side. I'm not gonna start right where that line is. I'm gonna move my pen down a little bit, and I'm gonna take a straight line out right there. So a straight line out. Again, I know we have all levels here, so this is really good practice to just try shapes, and if they end up in all directions in any place, it's perfect with that. That's okay, because that's our eye watching and our hand trying to do that. So I've got a straight line, and now I'm going to do kind of like a triangle or a V sideways. So it's a straight line that does a zigzag. On the end of this, I go in and out. So it was like a V sideways. This little beak is going to be open, waiting for a worm to drop on in. And then I'll do one more line coming down. And maybe he needs a worm. Okay, I'm going to do a squiggly little worm sticking out of his mouth. You don't have to. In fact, if you have other ideas for this guy, do it. All right. And then he needs an eyeball so he can see the worms he's going to catch. I'm going to do a circle. So we've talked a lot about shapes. I have a straight line. I have a curved U. Now this will make a full circle right about here. There he is. And a dot in the middle. We all have that little dot in the middle. So now he's looking, he's on the prowl for where can he find a worm. So this is more of an abstract little shape. And again, whatever marks you make are just right. And then we'll add some paint. And he needs a wing. I'm gonna do the same shape that I did for his body, but smaller. So I'm gonna go with a straight line inside of his body, kind of like I started with a straight line. I'm gonna try another straight line in there. I know this is a lot of directions and I understand I have all sorts of abilities. So we're just trying and we're just excited to try supplies and mediums and try lines and observing. So don't be hard on yourself. You're doing so great. A U again, just like we did the first time. There's my wing. How are we doing? Can you guys give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Is this kind of working? Or, oh, David's got a thumbs up. He's giving it a try. Perfect. Kylie, you're giving it a try. Yes. Who's giving it a try and feeling okay with it? Thanks for you. Awesome. So if you want to put texture, we used that art word last time where there's things that look like feather. Maybe you'll do some squigglies inside the little wing so it kind of shows feathers. Or if you have another idea of something that would look like feathers, maybe they're just stripes. Maybe you don't do any at all. He needs feet. I'm going to do feet with one line down and one line down. Two legs coming straight lines down. And then add some little toes on the bottom. And they can be straight lines or squiggly lines. I think I'll just go 3 toes forward, little straight lines on each one, going forward. And then I'm going to throw one of the toes back on each side. And what is he standing on? Maybe a branch. You can draw a branch in there. I think I'll just draw like a wire, like a telephone wire. He's outside just standing on a wire. So he's got to stand on something, right? How about his hairdo? Let's give him a hairdo. We've talked about swirly lines. I'm going to try one of my swirly lines, and it's like he has goofball feathers sticking around, sticking up. And how about a tail? We could do some feathers in the tail. I'm going to think of that as just a lump, kind of like an upside down U. I'm just going to put some little loops back here. And I think that's enough. I have a bird. Does anybody have a bird they want to share or show? Who has one they want to show? And it's, oh my goodness, Scarlett, you are kidding me. Are you kidding me? That is amazing. You look like you're in my tween class. What the heck? David, your smile could not be cuter. Show me that bird.
Show her the bird.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? You guys always blow me away because I know you're my mini people, but your artist hearts are so big. That's incredible. I'm really proud of you. Do you want to add some paint to it?
What?
Can you add some paint to it?
You want to paint it?
Hey, David, I got to tell you something. Now that you've drawn this once, you can try drawing these steps again all on your own. You'll be amazed at how you can remember. So the next time you go to draw a bird, if you want to try one of these, it will come quickly just because you've had good practice. You are rocking. Good job. Oh, how about this little precious thing? Look at your bird, Josie. Wow. That's amazing. And are you coloring it in?
Should we paint it?
Should we paint it? Are you, or you can keep going with the Sharpie. That's okay too. Or you've got markers, or you've got lots of possibilities for adding color. Hi guys. Of course, of course, of course. These are so cute. Are you kidding? Seriously, I just think, okay, we'll see how we do with the skills, and then you blow my mind. That is so cute. Are you guys having fun drawing birds?
Now use paint.
I can't believe you can do this. Tristan, are you working on drawing a bird?
No.
Nope, that's okay too.
Nope.
What do you want to say, Rio?
I saw a blue bird. I saw a blue jay.
What color of wing do you want? Do you want
Outside?
wing?
Whoa, what color was it?
Me and Tristan did.
What is it?
Blue jay. Me and Tristan did.
Oh my gosh, a bluebird. I love it. So fun. Okay, let's get on to painting these, okay, friends? Thanks for sharing. Now, I love doing Sharpie first because the watercolor goes over it really nicely. So I'm gonna pull my watercolor out and I wanna show you a trick, okay? Some of you are gonna get this. So you have these colors, but those aren't all the colors in the world. Maybe there's some other colors I wanna add. I'm thinking about a light green, kind of like this green over here. I'm gonna show you how to mix your own color. You can try it if you want. You use the back of that lid as your palette. And remember, you have to use water to start the paint. So I'll dip my paintbrush in water, swirl it around, and now I'm gonna take a lump of yellow. I'm gonna swirl, 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 so I have it on my paintbrush, and then I'm going to put it down here. If I try to mix the colors in these little spots, it's gonna make a mess of my watercolors, and they won't be pure colors. So I've added a nice pile of yellow, and I want to add some green, but if I take that with yellow on it, my paintbrush, then I'll make yellow in the green. So instead, I'm going to rinse, rinse, rinse in that water, swirl it around. So I've got a fresh brush, and now I'll drop into that green and add it here. And look at the color I made. It's like lime green. I'm loving that color. So I just want to show you that it's possible to make your own colors too. Use that little tray underneath, and then when you're all finished, you wipe it down with a little piece of tissue or a rag. Okay, now I've got this fun color, and I think I'm gonna fill in, let's see, around here. And this paper is really nice watercolor paper, so it should take your paints well. And I'm always going to rinse my brush before I find a new color so that I keep these guys pure. Don't forget the background. We've talked about positive and negative space. That negative space, which means the background, is really important to him. He's in a blue sky or whatever you choose. Make sure you color the entire square. And you can kind of just go right over that Sharpie. That's what I love about it, is you go right over it and it doesn't smear because it's Sharpie. All right, watercolor has a lot of drippy movement, so that's okay. You can allow for that. Those feathers might be fun to put bright colors in too. Maybe they're going to be different colors. and a little worm hanging out of his mouth. How are my friends doing with the painting part of this? You look so busy. Ooh, Kylie's working so hard with her Sharpie. Scarlett's just working away. And David, oh my goodness, the concentration. And look at Josie's concentration with that little brush. Whoa. And Ellie has jumped right into all the things. Perfect. That little smart group. Josie, you look so busy. What are you painting? Josie, do you want to show me what you're painting?
Should we hold it up?
Oh my goodness. Look at your colors, Josie. Hold it up. Let me see you. Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I doing? Okay. Wow. Look at how your colors are running into each other because they're watercolors. So water kind of moves things and it kind of makes it fantastic. Keep working on it. You're doing so great. Wow. So friends, I gave you 2 of those watercolor squares. So you can try one maybe that's realistic if you'd like, or you can try another abstract. So yeah, whatever you do. How is the Smart family doing? Hi, Miss Gabe.
That's awesome.
How are you?
Hi. They're doing awesome. They're doing so good.
Oh my gosh, how's your life?
Living my best life. How about
Yes, you're always living the best life. Look at these guys. Rio, oh my goodness. Hold yours up, Tristan. And Tegan, will you hold them up? That is really fun. These are cute.
This is very, very busy.
It very, very busy. If you decide you want nothing to do with these, send them to my house and I'll put them in a frame and put them in my bedroom because they are so cute. Let's see, Tags. Oh my gosh, you guys are so amazing. Look at your colors. Wow. Fantastic. Keep going. If you finish this one and you would like to move over to the other one, this other square, you're welcome to do another work. You could try a realistic or you could try another abstract. Awesome. Here's one that I did. He's kind of funny. He's an abstract guy. Or you can try a realistic like I was showing Miss Ellie. So that's realistic. It looks like a bird that could be real. And these are more abstract that you kind of put your artist heart energy into as well. All right, and after this, we're gonna take a little stretch and a little break. Maybe have your lifesaver mint. I don't know where mine went. Oh, right here. So this is a good time for one of these, maybe a drink of water if you need to use the bathroom. I'm gonna take a real quick break. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Keep going with your painting. Do a little stretch, do a little wiggle, and then we'll come back and get going on our binoculars. Okay, has anybody done a little wiggle? Did you stand up and move your hands and move your arms and kind of stretch a little bit? Take a minute to have a little break and we'll get into, gosh, we've got all sorts of projects today. We've got binoculars and we've got clay. We're gonna do those two things this next little session. So I'm gonna pull you back to gallery view and let me just have an idea of where you're doing. Give me a thumbs up if you're kind of resolved in that painting and ready to move on to binoculars. And give me a thumbs down if you're like, no way, Jill, I'm still painting. So give me an idea of where we are with this project. Thumbs up, let's move to binoculars. Thumbs down, I need another minute. Okay, Rio needs another minute. Where's David? Thumbs up or down? Thumbs up, move on to binoculars. Okay, you're ready. How about Miss Josie? You look like you're still painting. So busy. Good job. How about Scarlett and Kylie? Thumbs up, let's go to binoculars, or we're still painting? Thumbs up to binoculars. Perfect, thank you. Awesome. Okay, and Ellie's already just jumping right into her clay. She knows what she's doing. All right, and if you haven't taken a little stretch, go for it. And when you are ready, you can kind of start thinking about the next step. We're going to be using scissors and the tape, and these are really good skills for this age. These are all skills that kind of need to be taught, using scissors, ripping tape. And they're really basic, but it's so fun to just practice and to try, because these are kind of these little artist life skills that will go with this. So we're practicing scissors, we're practicing tape. Those are the skills we're trying to get, but we're gonna get some fun binoculars out of it too. We're making binoculars out of toilet paper rolls, I'm gonna admit. And I put a hole at the top of each one, because those are gonna hold the handles that go around, or the hooks that go around our bodies. So how are we doing now? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we ready to move on to our binoculars? David's ready. Yes, and Miss Kylie. Let's go ahead and get started. And if you're not quite there, that's okay. Stay with your painting. If you skip binoculars altogether, that's totally fine. So just stay engaged in whatever part you're at. So I'm gonna move these guys down. The first thing I'm going to do, now you should have a pile of yarn too. I'm going to take one of my yarns, whichever one, it doesn't really matter. This will be the one that goes around your neck, okay? So take one of these and just set them aside, and that ties on at the end. So whatever color you want, just set it aside, and then we're gonna use these and be cutting from these, okay? So I picked the yellow, that's gonna be the handles. There's kind of a few steps to this, my friends, but then this is what we're gonna work on, is the other pile. And then we're going to take our washi tape. And parents, this washi tape is so fun. They come in a million colors and a million ways. I use it a ton in my classroom, and I just gave each kid one of my extra rolls, so they're not brand new, and they might be towards the end or whatever, but if they've done a live class with me, we often use this to tape onto papers, and then they paint over it, and they can peel it off or keep it there. But the skill of making designs out of this and ripping the tape is really healthy. So this is what I'm gonna do, my friends. I'm gonna look around and find where the edge is, right there, and I'm gonna try to peel it up. So let the kids try this as much as they can. So I'm gonna peel that little edge up. I know David's done washi tape and so is Tegan. Yep, so I'm gonna peel this up, and now I'm gonna try tearing it. Watch Miss Jill do a tear. I take these fingers as pinchers. It's my thumb and my first finger, and these are pinchers. And I'm gonna use both hands as pinchers, okay? It's like little birds saying hello. So I'm going to pull that washi tape and I'm going to pinch my finger and my thumb on one side and my finger and my thumb on the other side, just like that. And then I'm going to twist, and that tears. It's really tricky, but it's so good to try. I'm going to make a bunch of these. So once again, I pull this out, okay, about this long. And I'm going to pinch like this on one side. And then the other hand does the same thing. On the other side, they have to be kind of close together. And then I twist this way, and it ripped. And this is hard to be not in the classroom with the kids and watching and doing it. So thanks for jumping in, Nicole. And this can be a really tricky skill. So I pull it out and pinch with my thumb and my finger and twist. I'm gonna keep making, and you can stick that on the edge of your table maybe, so they're ready for you. And maybe do, I don't know, 5 or 7 or so. That is such a good skill. And you can keep that washi tape and use it in your designs. Take it on your watercolor and make a frame out of it, or put it on the paper first and paint over it, or try your initials, or try shapes. Washi tape is, I don't know, I love it. Awesome. Can be used in a million ways. Okay, so after I have a few pieces of washi tape, give me a thumbs up. Were you able to rip it? How did we do? It's kind of tricky, I know. How did we do? Did you try it? I can see Josie trying. Perfect. So I'm going to take one of my strings, or yarns. It's a big yarn. Doesn't matter which color. Just grab one of these and grab one of the toilet paper rolls. We're going to do this on both sides. So I'll show you the one first. When you see the hole, don't cover the hole with the yarn. Okay. Keep that open because we're going to need to access it. And I'm going to just take this yarn and I'm going to lay it down and tape it on. Take one of those washi tapes and tape that down. And now again, another skill of rolling this yarn around as long as you think is a cool decoration. You might make them close together. You might make them kind of far apart. And then I think that's enough. Another great skill is practicing scissor skills. So when you feel like that's long enough, cut that. Set it aside, and then again, you're going to tape that other edge. So lots of washi tape today. And you can just tape it right over. Okay, this is to give you a visual of where we're headed with this. All right, we're just covering these with interesting yarn. So put your eyeballs on the screen for 1 minute so you can kind of get an idea of what those little binoculars are going to look like. And again, some of them are made with a long piece of yarn, and then some of them are cut a little bit shorter. So now I'm going to just keep going. I've got that much. Now I want a new color. I'm going to try the pink one now. And the first thing I have to do is lay it down and tape it. And if parents are close, let kids do as much as possible as far as those fine motor skills are such an important skill to just practice. And I'm wrapping and wrapping. See if I can make these little circles around here. And that looks like enough for Miss Jill. I'm going to take my scissors, and you can cut it wherever you want. Again, cutting scissors, the thumb in that smaller one and the fingers in the other one, to chomp and chomp. These are skills that I do in my classroom often, and again, it's hard not to be right with them, modeling how to hold scissors and how to do tape. But I'm going to keep going until I feel like I have enough, and when I feel like I have enough, I'll start on the other one. Again, don't cover that little hole. See if you can keep that open. All right. Cut off the edges. And after I have one of my guys done, now I'm, how do I, trying to get it to stand. Might not happen. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my other one. So you have 2 rows. So do the same thing and just take pieces of yarn and tape it down. You might need to do some more washi tape. Miss Jill just ran out. So I'll let that sit there. Go back to my washi tape. If the washi tape isn't working, you're welcome to use masking tape. It would be the same type of ripping. So you find that little edge. Sometimes the trickiest part is finding that edge. It likes to kind of blend in. Pull it out. Take my pinching fingers, my first finger and my thumb, and my first finger and my thumb, and then rip it. All right, I'm going to make another maybe 5 or 7. Pull it apart, pinching kind of close together, rip it, pull apart, pinch together. Again, just really good skills to learn. And if you have a bunch of washi tape and a piece of paper and you just let them cut the tape, practicing scissors or rip the tape and making designs, that's a great art activity that will occupy them forever. Something about kids and tape, it's really fun for them to feel in control of using all the tape they want and making designs. So we do that in our class. So now I'm going to roll them around. And that's probably long enough. I don't even need to cut this one. And take another one, making bright, colorful binoculars so that I can spy my birds. I let that one overlap. I think that makes cool designs to put the red on top of the turquoise. So I went over it. You get to design it however you want. All right, I have my 2 ready to go. I've gotten 2 of the tubes covered. Friends, hold them up or give me a thumbs up or something. Tell me how it's going, wrapping these tubes. Boy, Kylie, wow, you are really focusing. Amazing. Good job, Tegan. That looks awesome. Look at little Miss Josie. Your hands are so strong. So coordinated, learning to wrap around. Good for you. Working so hard. Oh my gosh, David, hold yours up. Those look fantastic. I'm going to pull you forward. Can we share what you got going? Hey, pal. Whoa, how's that going? Hey, David, you've done a lot of washi tape in Miss Jill's studio at Create Bliss. How did you do today?
Good.
Are you good at ripping it?
Good.
Yeah, heck yeah. You're looking like you're doing a great job. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, I can see you. Hello? Hello? Perfect. I love it. Okay, keep wrapping. You're doing so great. I'm so proud of you. And parents, again, this is kind of a silly, crafty thing, but these skills are so important. So if there's another day and you have an empty roll of toilet paper, give them some tape and have them practice these skills. It's awesome. How is this beautiful girl who concentrates so hard? Look at this girl. Look at her cut. Josie, whoa.
Squeeze.
Josie, look at you.
So cut up right here. There you go.
Yes,
Wow.
you did it. Have you worked with scissors much, Miss Josie?
Well, this is our first time.
Oh my goodness. And
My mom says it's sharpness line, and I can't do it.
you're so brave. So make sure when you use your scissors that you're always with your mom or your dad, okay, Josie? Because they are sharp and I would not want you to get hurt. Yeah, so be careful. Be careful.
There's a scarf.
It's a scarf. Yes, you be careful around your neck, beautiful girl. Good job with the scissors. That is a really big skill.
Mom, let's do this one again.
Sam, do you have toddler scissors?
No, I need to get some.
Well, if you want to borrow some, I'll throw them on my porch because it actually is it can be pretty entertaining for them. To really
Yeah,
just
I'll just have to get some on Amazon.
yeah,
Sure.
either way, if you don't want to order them, I'll just throw them on my porch. You can borrow them, no big deal.
Thank you.
Doing great.
These big ones, I'm sure, are making it a lot harder for her.
She's doing great. Yeah, just get the soft little edges. And then watch the hairdos, friends. Nobody needs a new hairdo, okay? So that means don't use the scissors on anything but paper or yarn. All right, we need to get moving on so we can do our clay too. How are we doing over here, the Smarts family? You guys doing okay? You guys wrapping them okay? How's it going, Rio? We're working hard. What are you doing with it? Oh my gosh! He's got it done. Okay, Rio's ahead of the game. Miss Jill's being so slow. Let me show you what happens next. Thanks, pal. That was awesome. So now that I have these things together, I'm going to take those little round dots, okay, and I'm going to tie this guy on them. But I'm going to take the end, and again, parents, this is good for them to try to thread. So find the dot, this circle hole, and I'm going to stick those in. If you know how to tie your shoes, you're going to need to do a double knot. So crossing over, wrapping under. I know that they'll need a little assistance. I try hard to do some activities that they don't need your assistance, but thank you for paying attention. So then I'm going to, after I have the knot, see how it hangs here? I need to now connect it to this one. But this yarn is too big. So I'm going to measure it. Watch Miss Jill. I'm going to hang it around here, okay? And I'm going to say, how big do they need to be for me to be able to pull them up and let them hang down? And this looks about right. Right about like that. So I'm going to put my fingers a little bit longer so there's room for the knot. And I'm going to pinch it there and I'm going to cut it. Because that yarn as it comes is a little bit too long, and then if I want to wrap that little piece around more, I can. And then I'm going to take this next hole of the other one and put that in there and tie a knot on both sides, or 2 times. We're doing both toilet paper rolls. All right, now Miss Jill has it hanging. It's almost finished. I just need to connect these two to each other. And there's a couple of ways to do it. I'm going to use the Elmer's glue and the tape. So I'm going to set it here and make sure that the dots, the holes, are on the outside. And then they're going to touch, those things are going to touch on the inside. So I take my Elmer's glue, and on just one side, the opposite of the hole, I'm going to do a line coming down. Okay, that was opposite of the hole because I didn't want to glue on the hole. Now I find this side, the opposite of the hole, and I'm going to stick them together. And then I'm going to pinch them so tight and hold them like this. But what's really going to hold them is a little bit of masking tape. So if you've got masking tape, the washi isn't as strong. So I'm going to practice my tears. And I'm going to take it on the inside, the glue's down the middle. I'm gonna stick it on one side on the inside and make a bridge. So watch on the screen how I bridge it over and secure it on the inside on the top, and do that again on the bottom. So I took a piece of masking tape. I'm kind of moving quickly. I hope it's not overwhelming anybody. And I put it on the inside of that little roll, and I do the bridge and onto the inside of that row. Okay. And now that tape is going to help hold that down. If you feel like you need 2 pieces of tape on each, go for it. But it will take a little while for that glue to dry, but that tape is just an added security. So I did 2 pieces on the top and 2 pieces on the bottom. And now, my friends, I have my binoculars, so I can hang them down here and hold them up and look for the birds and then hang them back down. You can go out in the yard and play I Spy. You can do I Spy rocks or birds. You could look for birds or animals or leaves or trees. So there you go. Now you all have a pair of binoculars to go bird searching. Oh, all your little hands are working so hard. Are we doing okay? Oh, David's got some binoculars. Check it out. Let me see, pal. You rock right. Yeah, hold it up. Let's see. Hello, how are you? I see you. What do you spy, David? Do you spy Hallie with a balloon? Turn around and see if you can spy it with your binoculars. Oh yeah. Did you have fun making your binoculars? That's awesome. You can use them to look at so many things. You're doing so great. My goodness, you kids are so smart. How's it going for Miss Scarlett and Miss Kylie?
Follow the string.
You want to hold those up? How's it going, Scarlett and Kylie? You guys doing okay? Hi. Oh my goodness, look at how they're wrapped. Gorgeous. I love it. Hey, little. Can you show me? Little Miss Josie?
True.
Birdie.
Yeah, birdie.
Hello.
How cool. How good you wrap those.
Whoa, are you kidding me? You are so grown up, Miss Josie. So grown up. Oh, that's so cute. Go spy so many things. Good job. Parents, please be aware of this hanging around their neck, obviously. Just be careful. Yeah, make sure they're always safe. Hey, little cuties, how's this going over at the Smart Family? Oh, yes. Look at you. Hi. What do you spy?
Spying the computer. I spy the computer too.
Computer, I spy you, and I think you're pretty dang cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay, I love it. Okay, we got one more thing, a few more minutes of our clay. Miss Jill is dragging along here. Sorry about that. I'm gonna up my game. It's the attention span part. I try to have enough activities, but not too many. So this might drag into your day a little further past just these couple of minutes. But I'm gonna talk about clay, and there's a couple of things that are really important about clay. I want to show you this part. We've talked about texture. So if you, in the end, want to add texture to your clay, that would be using the end of a pencil, or I have that awesome tool. You're going to want to use that from the last time, the embossing tool. So you can make designs in your clay. This is so fun. Look at all of that texture. So if you want to add them into your birds, there's a lot of ways to make texture. So I just want to show you those possibilities. But we're going to try kind of let's see. Even this, if you want to make little babies, or you can do little eggs or a nest. So you get to decide how to do that bird. Okay, now I have to show you a couple of things that's really important with clay. So with the clay that I've given you is kind of ready to go. It's been kneaded and it's kind of all together. So I'm going to do some talking for a little while, and then I'll probably let you go on to make your birds by yourself. But clay has fibers that hold on to each other and make it strong. So when I pull pieces out, so watch Miss Jill, don't do this on your own, just watch what happens. If I pull this piece of clay aside, because I want it to be a little baby bird or eggs, and then I am working with it and I'm like, no, actually I want it to be back in the bird. So I take my little piece and I plop it back in and I squish it in. Well, the fibers are not woven in yet. So then you make something out of this pile of clay and it dries and it falls off. Oh my goodness, that would be so sad. So if you have a piece of clay that you need to attach to something, like maybe a wing or maybe a head, this process is really important. I know these are big words for these little people, but there's a thing called score and slip that makes the fibers go back to each other. So I'm just going to show you this technique, and then you can make whatever bird you want, but I just want to make sure you understand the score and slip process. So let's pretend this is going to be my bird and he's going to have a head, okay? So I have these two balls, but they need to attach to each other. I'm going to do two things. Score is a checkerboard pattern that I'm going to do with this little tool, and slip is adding water. I'm going to pick the end that's little, okay? And now I'm going to make a checkered pattern wherever that head is going to attach. So right here, I'm doing lines this way and lines this way, and I'm roughing it up. And the slip is dipping one finger in your water and rubbing it here. That makes it kind of muddy. You don't want to rub it too much because then you'll get rid of the checkerboard. That's one time. Do it again. Score means a checkerboard. A finger in the water is a slip. Okay, so this is ready to go, but now I need to do it on the side that I'm attaching. So I'm going to take that little tool and do a checkerboard. You're just roughing it up. I'm going to take one finger with the water and slip. Score again. I do it 2 times, and I do it on each side. Score and finger with a little water and slip. And after I've done that, now I need to match the 2 areas up that had score and slip, score and slip. Now I hook them together and rub them into each other, okay? And you kind of push hard because you want the clay to grab each other again with those fibers. So now he's got a head. And if you want to use the sponge dipped into the water, if you do that, you've got to make sure you dip in the water and then really wring it out. You don't want a lot of water on your clay. So I'm wringing out the drips. And then if I want to take this to smooth this little body, then I can do that. The strongest way to make a bird that your clay will be the strongest is to not take pieces apart, but to pull it from the piece that's already all together. So this is a possibility, is to just take that ball and roll it around and make it kind of round and smooth. And if I need to dip my fingers, like all 5 of them, and put a little water around, it should be pretty fresh. It just came straight out of the can, so it's all pretty fresh. But if you use it over and over, you'll need to continue to add a little water to it. So if I have a ball, I can just kind of pull the head in one direction and pull a tail in another direction. And if I pull my parts this way, instead of detaching it and having to put them back on, my bird will be a little bit stronger. So I have a tail coming out and a head, maybe a beak. So that would be a way to make a bird too. And then you have all sorts of stuff to decorate. So maybe a beak, I want to do it by pinching out instead of taking off and then reattaching, because when you have to score and slip, it's not as strong as if it just comes straight from its clay. And I'm adding some water to make it smooth. I can smooth out his little face and smooth out his little beak. And I've given you lots of things to decorate the clay with. So if you would like to add feathers, or if you if you can figure out how these guys, you can pipe cleaners, they could be feathers jumping up, they could be legs. Maybe you want to cut it in half. They cut really easily, so you can.
Jill, you're muted.
Whoa. Okay, now can you hear me and see me? Is this working? Everybody's frozen. Give me a wave if you can see me. Okay, now I've got you back. Guys, give me a wave if this is working. Can you see me and hear me? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. My computer just jumped off. It shows I've got full Wi-Fi. My goodness, the technological parts of this are tricky. Well, anyway, that's what I was doing when I was offline. I threw some legs in there, and maybe some fun feathers would be cute for a head. On the top of his head, or maybe his tail, and some feathers. If you have sequins at home, or if you have googly eyes or beads or whatever you want, you can add whatever you want to them. Watch Miss Jill add texture. I'm gonna add wings here by adding texture. I gave you that little wooden stick, and it's awesome if I use that end of it that's round. Makes really cool. That looks like feathers to me. So I'm gonna do that texture on both sides. This is actual texture, which means it feels bumpy. That's a texture word. Implied texture is when we draw it to look bumpy. And I might use that little tool for his eyes. Maybe I'll draw. I showed you how you can do texture. So drawing his little eyes with little circles. So this guy is great for adding texture after. Maybe you have enough clay that you want to also do a little nest or little eggs. You could roll a bunch of little guys and do, you can roll them into little circles, and so that maybe he has a bunch of eggs that sit next to him. That could be kind of cute. Maybe you want to make a nest. If you've divided yours in half and you have enough. A nest, I just roll a circle and I put a thumb in it, right in the middle, and I kind of hold it. And then I take my hands and I pinch. Can you see that? Okay, how do you get angle? I just pinch around, pinch, pinch, pinch. That's called a pinch pot. And it makes a really cute nest, and I can keep going out and just keep circling it around until it's wide enough. All right, there's a little nest. And an egg, and a little baby. If you don't want to do a bird, I should have said this in the beginning, and you kind of feel like doing a turtle, go for it. You can do a turtle. What if you just want to roll it out and do a blob of really interesting things? Do a blob, that's okay too. It doesn't have to be a bird. It can be whatever you come up with. And this is air dry clay. It's going to take about 3 days to dry. But if you'll do me a favor and not paint it or do anything with it until next week, we'll paint it together when I send those paints home in your supply kit. And make sure that you put it on a shelf that's safe, that doesn't, so it won't get knocked, because it's kind of fragile. It's most fragile while it's drying. And parents, if this happens, and it always does when I do clay, if a part falls off, it wasn't quite scored and slipped and doesn't attach quite right, then just let it fall off. And then when it's dry, use Elmer's glue. That sounds crazy, but it actually is the strongest glue. It's just that white glue. So you just load that up, put the pieces together, and let it dry like overnight or 24 hours. So if something falls off, and I've tried all sorts of glue, you start thinking super glue is the best. Elmer's is actually the strongest, but it takes the longest to dry. So if that happens, then glue it back on with Elmer's. There's one other thing. Oh, I have had a lot of people ask me what kind of clay this is, and I've used all sorts of air dry clay, and my favorite is Crayola. So if your kids are loving clay, get yourself a bucket, and it dries in a few days, and it's pretty fun. It comes in white or terra, that like earth color, but I prefer the white, and then I add the paint on after. This is a big 5-pound tub. They come in halves too that are like 2.5 pounds. The cheapest is Walmart. If you're going to stores, they're like $9.99 on the shelves at Walmart. Michael's is a little more expensive, but there's usually a coupon. I don't work for Crayola. I'm just telling you what I found, by the way. Is there anybody who wants to share their little clay creations? Oh my goodness, I love it, Rio. Let's see it. Yep, that's so cute. Good job. He's got these cute legs and chirp, chirp. How's it going? Tristan, you're so busy over there. Hi. How are you, beautiful? Say hi. He's always stuck off the little corner there, so I can't see her. Hi, Tristan. How's it going?
Say hi to Miss Jill.
Look at your hands. Show me your hands. Are they so messy?
Yes, they were awesome.
That's because you're having so much fun. I love it. Sometimes art is messy. It's okay. Tegan, show me what you got, Sunshine. Whoa, that's so cute. And the legs could bend and do things. And you still have a pile of clay if you want to keep going with it. This is fantastic. We will paint them next week. Good job, friends. This is wowsy pants. Who else has something great they want to share? Miss Ellie, I haven't heard from you for a while. I don't mean to ignore you. Hi. Hello? Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Hold it up so I can see it. And okay, Ellie, what? That is amazing. I love that you're like, hey, you're doing birds, but I'm going to do an elephant just because your artist heart is speaking to you and you're honoring it. And the shapes, for you to be able to pull out a 3D form that is perfectly proportional. This little Ellie, I met this family because I taught her at Draper Park. She was in my class and I just fell in love with her, and she was the magical, creative girl. Thanks for creating with us. That's fantastic. Hey, Miss Ellie, maybe you can show Fletcher how to do some of this stuff a little bit later.
Yeah,
Play out and kind of talk to him about what we're doing.
I can totally do that.
I love that. If you can help him do a clay piece before next week, then he can paint
Yeah.
it with us if he wants to. Does that work?
Yeah, I can also make a car for him if he wants me to. I can just make something for him.
Good, sister. Thank you. It's awesome. How is this cute? Josie. Hi. Josie, what you working on? Oh my goodness, what is it?
It's for the eggs.
They're eggs. Oh my gosh. What's this guy?
It's named for Kifa.
He's so cute. I love him. You can put feathers in him, and next week we'll paint him.
Yeah.
Do you like clay?
Eggs for him to lay.
Oh my goodness, who's helping you today?
Yeah.
Hi there, how are you?
I filled in halfway through.
I love it. Thanks for jumping in. You've just got the sweetest family in the whole world. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, a
sweet.
birdie.
A birdie, thanks for playing with me today, Miss Josie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, or you can let him dry, and next week we'll paint him. Good job. How are Scarlett and Kylie doing? You doing okay? How about my buddy David? Hey pal, how are you? Oh, are you kidding me? I love that you decided to put the feathers for the wings. You did so great. Do you like working with clay, David? Yeah. Do you like having darling eyes? Those are great eyes. They are beautiful. It's fun to watch yourself, huh? It's pretty cute. Okay, silly goose. You are a silly goose. Thank you for playing with me. Make sure you're really good helpers in cleaning up. I know that this is kind of a messy activity, and I didn't even bring up the fact, oh my gosh, I forgot. By the way, this was parchment paper for you to work on. Oh my gosh, I think I forgot to tell you that. This is what you use to put the clay on so it doesn't get all over your table, but it's past the point, so whatever. Anyway, I am going to sign out, and you guys just keep playing and partying with that clay, and then make sure you put it in a spot that is where babies and others can't get to it so that it can dry. Oh, look, the twins have jumped in. Hi, twins. Hi, how are you? Are you playing with the clay?
They really want to.
I love it. Oh my gosh, Gabe. Seriously. Hi.
Want to see their faces?
They are so beautiful. Hi there. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Play is so fun to play with. Oh, Rio, darling. Hey, which one's Sage? I can't remember.
This is Sage, and that one's Sky.
That okay, got it. Sage and Sky.
Yeah, who's very crazy? Who's very crazy?
They have their own personalities.
Very much, yes.
You're such a trooper, Gabe. I'm telling you. I love it. Amazing. Okay, friends. See you guys. It's good to see you. All right, I'm signing out. I sure love you. Have a great week.
Bye.
I cannot wait to do this next week. We'll do our little, I'm going to put you on gallery view. Everybody wave. Say goodbye, friends. Show your little treasures. Yay. Thank you for creating. Bye, Scarlett and Kylie. Bye, Josie. Love you. Bye, Tristan and David. Okay, all my little friends.